They had a wonderful 7:30 show tonight that went a little bit over time, so we were just hanging out talking with ourselves, which is perfect because that's a little bit of whatever fate decides is. It's a real tarot reading that's going to happen for a real person that we have literally just met about 2 minutes ago. Yeah, super exciting. And we're going to explore his life a little bit through the tarot and through improvisation. We'll see where the show takes us. And it's a place of possibility where anything can happen, which I think is exciting on stage, right? So I'd like to introduce to you, as whatever fate decides. First of all, I'm Neil, and these are the performers tonight. Please come on stage. And if we needed to leave the room for some reason, just to let you know, you can come out the door you came in. Not that you'll ever want to leave. You're going to have such a great time. But that's a thing. I'd also like to introduce to you tonight our guest for this evening, Brian. Well, Brian, I'm Neil. It's lovely to meet you. And just so that you know, and so that you all know, kind of that Brian is okay. Basically, tonight we're going to do two tarot readings for you. They'll probably be like 3 cards-ish, more or less. We'll have the chance to kind of explain the past, present, and future of the thing. As we get into the future, you'll be able to maybe change stuff around if you want to, because like any tarot reading, you have agency over your life. You're a human being. Do something different if what you see sucks. That's totally fine. And then the other bit too, and we talked about this, but just so that everybody's clear, if something happens with the reading and you're like, I don't really want that to happen, or I'm not ready to talk about that in front of a room full of mostly strangers, you can just ask us to please stop. We'll stop, and that's totally fine. You can also participate in any way you want to. So if you feel like, I'm an improviser, I'll get up on stage and do my stuff, that's great. You certainly had that happen. And if you're just like, no, and show me about my life, that's fine too. Anywhere in between is also okay. And for these nice people, just so that they all know, we have literally just met. I know nothing about you except your name and your pronouns as he, him, and that you seem cool, and that's it. I did ring the bell tonight, and we might as well introduce that part now, if you're thinking about it. But I also just wanted to say too that the same thing when I say with anybody that we're looking at the tarot, that this is like a snapshot of your current trajectory, right? You don't have to be locked into anything. The show will give you freedom to do that. If you're looking to direct the players and you feel like, oh man, I don't feel good about speaking, you can also do this. And they're like dolphins in the sense that this isn't do something different for me, but oh, that feels good. Keep doing that. And then they will. And if you're like, this isn't my thing, partly I'll check in with you. But partly you can just not ring the bell and they'll know that's not the thing. All right? So I also read with this giant, massive tarot deck, friends. It's called the Alumet Tarot, and it's full of images from all over the world. I'll try and project them for you as much as my projector wants to cooperate. So if I have any problems with that, let me know. It was working a second ago, and now it's got back to its home screen. So.
It said it was updated.
Oh, great.
It said update complete.
Oh, great.
So maybe it's better than ever.
Maybe it's thinking about it, and maybe it's just gonna fuck out, and that's fine too. But we'll hang out with you, Brian, because you're the person who's important tonight. So I'm interested, as we kind of get down to it, what is it that you felt like you wanted to ask the cards, or is there something you want to ask the cards? You can ask anything you wish. We can be super clear and specific. We can be very broad. Show me what's going on in my life. We can also talk about area that you're interested in, like your career or family or love or whatever suits your fancy.
I think show me what's going on now.
Just broad,
Yeah.
big
Exactly.
views.
Yeah.
Down for that, if you are. I'm gonna mix the cards. When it's time for me to stop, let me know. when to stop.
Stop.
We're not gonna get a projection tonight, sorry. Those that look for these cards, that's maybe the best.
Yay!
Alright. Cool, well, I will show you all this card while I look at it. And because it is so much stuff, friends, I definitely read with my guidebook, and that's gonna have to be okay for you to hear yourself. So, yeah, sorry in advance. But this very first card that's here, it's interesting because it is one that I don't get a lot. It's something called the Alleyman. So it is literally like the name of the deck. Oh, that's all right. It's just gonna focus itself, which is fine. So with the Alleyman, it's a thing that I don't get real often. In here, so it's just gonna take me a quick second to make sure that I kind of suss out for you.
This is the guy that the deck's named after, right?
Oh, it says dad.
It is, and like just for clarity, like the Alleyman is like a spirit that sort of hangs around in the lore of the deck, and basically just takes people over and hangs out and says, "Hey kid, you want a tarot reading?" And then people show up and they get a tarot reading, and that's it. So with this, like about what's going on in your life, it's about giving someone who doesn't know you very well too much power in the past. And like it's like they're leading you astray in the process of doing that. Like they're trying to give you or had been trying to give you advice, and maybe like it just wasn't the right thing because they just don't know you. Funny. But I don't know if that's something that resonates with you in the past. Of like someone maybe trying to advise you on things in your life that like maybe they really weren't ready to do or a good place to be.
Not really.
That's okay. And it's the other thing that it can. I'm gonna grab a card for clarity with this because the Alleyman is kind of a weird thing. And this in the past, this is a card that's it's something called the 7 B's. It's actually in something called the strange, or the bells, excuse me. That's in like no, it's all right. But it lives it lives in something called the strange suit here in the deck, and it's like an extra suit of cards essentially that's out there. And basically, like with this, we're getting it in reverse, just like with the Alleyman here in the past. And it's also this, like for clarity, is kind of about like in the past having needed to like step away from like things you were struggling with, and the kind of feeling of like, oh, finally, like I can just step away from that for a minute and not feel like, ugh, and kind of knowing like you don't have to face everything alone. So maybe like kind of together with this, if this doesn't resonate for you, like getting bad advice from someone who doesn't really know what's going on, then this knowledge that like you don't have to face things alone, then it's okay to like step away from your struggles for a little bit. And in the past, having needed to like go just do something silly for a little bit to just like let go and relax and step away from whatever was bothering you.
Yeah, that definitely.
That right? So, and what have you been doing to like kind of step away from things? And, you know, like what is it? Like, 'cause I don't know you at all. Like, what do you do to relax?
You try to make art.
You try and make art.
Yeah.
Have you ever made anything before?
Uh,
You made art. Congratulations. Like, what's the art form that you work in?
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. So like you draw, you paint, you make sculptures,
Yeah.
all the things,
Film music.
everything. That's amazing. And like, do you have like, what's your last thing that you worked on?
The last thing I worked on was kind of a proof of concept of a cyberpunk film. It was about robots growing up in a world of robots, trying to see what else is out there.
That's amazing. I got a projector we can put up. So, like really though, like that sounds like a something. You know, they could really help you take yourself away from the mess that is this world in the past. I've seen people sit on the edge of their seats as players. So like if you have something, stop me. But this sounds really interesting, Brian, like as a project. Like, now we know you. Maybe what we could see is in the past, the concept of finding this as a film, as a scene. Is that something you could do for me, players?
Besides the film.
Yeah, like finding like the moment that this comes together in Brian's head. It's like it's a past thing.
I'm just so sick of trying.
I feel that. It's real tough out here. I feel like nothing we do really gets us anywhere. Just feeling stagnant.
Like we're treading water.
Yeah.
What if we didn't do anything?
Like if we didn't have to do anything because all of our needs were already met by a non-human entity.
Oh my goodness, you're onto something.
You think so?
Yes.
So there's this talking dog. No, I'm sorry, that's stupid. It's been done. It's been done to death.
But what if the dog that already talked, that's been done,
Right, yeah.
what if it taught other robot dogs to talk? So
Oh.
we don't have to do it anymore.
That seems right.
Right.
Yeah.
A deep metaphor, man.
A metaphor? I was thinking like speech language pathology, but that's
Oh yeah, no, I like your thing better.
Well, like, hasn't like robots been done too?
robots have been done, but creating new things isn't necessarily what you have to do. You need to piecemeal it. Great artists steal from other great artists. This is about disrupting the robot dog marketplace.
Yes. And if the robot dogs, teach the other robot dogs to do robot dog stuff, but better, then they'd be the best robot dogs
And they're gonna do it in space.
in space. Yes, nailed it.
Awesome, let's see prototypes.
Awesome. So like, that's good. Because I don't know you. Like, hey, is this what the voices in your head sound like when you're thinking of like our projects?
I want to talk about robot dogs.
Yeah. I love that. And it
It's
just,
a use of that bell, my friend.
We felt it.
yeah, absolutely. Like, feel free to ring for them if it feels like, oh, hey, that feels good or whatever. I was checking, like, you seem down, but I just wanted to see, like, is this really, like, but it sounds like it'd be great. So it sounds like it is, and that's great. So thinking about, like, okay, how can we get a moment of, like, freedom? In the present, the card that I get there is this, which I'll kind of move back so you all can see. It's in that same strange suit, but this is the king card for it. This is Father Sleep. So Father Sleep upright here. It's about like knowing when things are like when things are starting and when things need to end. And like being aware of like needing to realize that something needs to be over. And like, hey, it's time to like end this relationship or stop this project for now, whatever it is. And kind of understanding that like things are ephemeral, nothing is meant forever. And I don't know if that makes sense in the context of what we're seeing when you're present, but just interested like in thoughts.
Definitely, I just got out of an 8-year relationship.
Whoa. It's interesting. So like you got on this 8-year, was it a romantic relationship?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if it was a good thing, great. If it was a bad thing, we're sorry. The cards don't enlighten me on that. But like, interesting. So like with this person, did you live with them? I mean, 8 years is pretty serious.
Yeah, we lived together.
Then you don't anymore. So. And like, like when you're recognizing that this thing has ended now, is there anything that you're doing differently other than coming here? Now that like you're, this thing is ending in your life?
Yeah, that's why I started creating more. I wasn't doing that kind of stuff, and now I'm doing more outlets.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like now you've got this thing that's over, and now you're awakening this other part of yourself. Robot dogs can happen, and all the other like projects.
She doesn't deserve him.
I agree. Well,
Loading wave file. I wish that he would let us be that mean to her, but he's asked me not to.
I wish we could bite this person.
Also, just like, what's this person's name? If it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine, Rose.
Rose.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So knowing that, keep going. Please.
I will pee on the rose.
I will wait until the rose asks me not to get on the counter,
And then.
then I will. Here comes Brian. Hey, bro.
What's up, dudes?
We've been meaning to talk to you.
About?
Rose.
Rose.
What about Rose?
Instead of being a good partner, she's been a bad bitch.
Are you saying this because she chewed up your shoe? You chewed up her shoe?
Yes, both things happened. We did worst. First, she took a bite out of my small dog booties for when there is snow. And in revenge, I took a big bite out of her Louboutins. She was not happy.
Okay, alright.
She won't let me on the nice couch. And also I noticed she deprives your soul from artistic expression.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Belly rubs, please.
Loading wave file, jealousy.
It sounds like the robot dogs have a little more freedom in your life now, and that's a good thing. And obviously, it's a metaphor, but it's like you have some, like you said, you have some more artistic freedom to do more things that like you want to be able to do now that this thing has ended. And it feels like it's a good thing for you.
It's for something.
Yeah, I mean,
Robot
but
dogs now.
it really, like, it's the look on your face about it. It really does seem that way. And again, like I saw you react, yes, they were saying this. stuff. But like also at the same time, like, hey, you can be free to like do more stuff. And that's what this next card is about. Fair warning that this is probably the most graphic card of the whole deck. But like, this is it. I'll show it to you. We're all adults here. So anyway, this is another card that's in that same strange suit. I'm gonna line it up like this. It's just how the cards shuffle when I shuffle them this morning. But this is something called the 8 of Tentacles. Oh my God. Right. Yeah.
I've seen enough.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the 8 of Tentacles reversed here in that same strange suit. And so the point that the players are making, I think it's interesting that it happened this way. But like reversed like this, it's about like falling victim to like your own pleasures and indulgences. Obviously the artwork speaks to that, but like as though like in the future as we move forward, like just being careful that like now that you're free, that this thing has ended, think about all the artistic projects that you want to, you don't have this person maybe holding you back in some ways, that like the danger can be that you indulge too much, that you go too far. And there's nothing wrong with feeling good, but then like, hey, if you just seek that out, you won't be the best version of you. You'll be, the version of you that indulges in all their vices and doesn't make the films they want to make, the art they want to make, and the things they want to do. So that's like the warning going forward with this. Now with this part of the show, Brian, we can show you that if you want. That's fine. But if you feel like, no, I'm cool with that. I don't want to see that. Like we could show you a different version of the future if you want to. But like I am also a little curious, just because I want to get to know you. Like if you had a vice, not that you seem like a nice guy, but like what would that vice be? Like I smoke too much, or like I love potato chips, all my vices. What is some of yours?
I buy too many things.
Buy too
Yeah.
many things. Okay, yeah, I've seen a lot of like, hey, so like that's fair. Like, do you have like a place that you buy or products that you buy specifically?
I buy a lot of music.
Not the worst thing in terms of vices, friend. Like streaming service, or like I go to vintage record stores, or like
Clothing stores, yeah. Clothing stores, and I just buy everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. So like, that's good to know as like vices and things. If you all are inspired to see that players, that's fine. And if you want to see that, we can show it to you, the version of you that goes nuts. But if you want to see something else or want to see a different thing, you can do that too. It's up to you about what you want to see.
I'd like to see the version that goes nuts.
Okay.
Yeah.
We let it happen here where it's safe. You're welcome.
Well, dogs.
Now we are in space and we are free.
I appreciate you splurging and using all of your profits from the series of films about our life to launch us into space.
Yeah, but what am I going to do for rent? Or to actually get a movie out?
Call it Laika's revenge. Deep cut.
Oh, you're gonna go on this, okay.
Is
Listen,
it
I think,
in space or is it just me?
okay, we need to bring this back down to earth. You guys are gonna need to start pulling your weight.
But I taught so many robot dogs how to speak.
In space we had no weight.
I don't want to seem ungrateful, but we're the one who got you away from Rose and inspired this artistic, rich life.
You know, and it's been a great journey, truly. But, you know, this could be hard to hear, okay? But
You'll have to speak loudly then. Come back.
I'm thinking of getting a cat.
Sidebar. I don't like that. I didn't even hear robot cat.
No, it's like regular cat.
All right. I've been hearing about this whole thing about AI taking over online. This might be our shot.
Let's go for it.
Loading wave file. Kill.
Go and see can I move forward kind of for a second? I'm interested as Brian, as our Brian stand here. So like, you talked about like buying vintage records and going to like the vintage record store, and we've seen the ideas crash around in your head. But I'm interested if we could see a moment of you at the record store. Is there a kind of music that you like specifically that you would overindulge in?
Yeah, that's a yes.
No judgment, no judgment.
Everything I see.
Hip hop?
Yeah.
Cool. Can we have the moment of you at the record store? Talk if you want to, but this is your Brian's moment of like I'm getting all the things.
There's some half-off ones over there.
Are they good?
Yeah, really good, really good.
And why are they half off?
You know.
Right.
Thank you. Yes. Well, I think that should do it.
Hey Brian, got a big stack today.
Yeah, Saturday.
Alright. Oh, you know what? I got that copy of Low End Theory you wanted too.
Amazing.
Sweet.
And could I put in a special request? Of course, right.
Anytime.
For some Beastie Boys. You know, and maybe if you got a little ska, some ska stuff.
Ska, that's not your usual stuff.
You know me, I'm eclectic. What have you been listening to lately?
I've been listening to a lot of grind popcorn. Yeah, it really hurts the eardrums.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
You won't hear much after it.
Sounds interesting though.
You got no pups with you today.
No, yeah.
All right, you want to follow up? There you go. You're a good one.
Thanks. See you tomorrow, right?
Some days.
Yeah.
Great. We'll stop here. Thanks so much. I don't know, Brian. Maybe you have a relationship with your local record store guy, like a bartender. Like, I don't know. Tell me what I've got today. Grind popcorn, I guess. Kind of go from there. But I think that it's just something to be aware of. Like as we go forward into the future, is the big picture of your life. Like, hey, let's just be conscious about overdoing the things that you love that are like your vices, but like me, hey Neil, maybe you don't need 2 bags of potato chips. Hey, maybe like enjoy your music, but maybe not now that this person's out of your life. Like, hey, maybe be mindful about like going to events. Just go ahead and mix the cards here for a little bit, just to kind of like make sure that we've got them reshuffled after our last time. Remember that like you can participate again in any way that you want to, but I'm loving the fact that you're just quietly enjoying it. And we're getting to know you a little bit better in this process, which is really quite nice. Have a think while I do this next round of shuffling about what you feel like you want to ask. Now that we have like the big overview of your life, I know a few big things about you now. And in a good way, you're a good friend, I like this. But like, hey, is there something more specific that you want to ask? Maybe about career or art or love things, or maybe we have had questions that have ranged from like deep existential stuff about like really hardcore things, all the way to like, I don't know, should I get this tattoo or not? And that's totally fine. Like we can do that too. So what are you thinking about for your next question? What's on your mind?
Am I wasting my time with Brett?
Wasting your time with yours. Feeling a lot of like relief from all of you. Yeah. I'm feeling from all of you the answer is of course not, buddy. Like keep making the art. But we'll let the cards show you if you want to ask them that, that's fine. Like, are you wasting your time with art in general, your life with art? Your life is what you said, so go with that. I'm gonna mix the cards. When it feels like it's time for me to stop, let me know. I will stop.
We have an escape gate.
Me too, that's fine. Actually, this lid, that fell out on purpose.
Ooh.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm just feeling out like what we need to do here. Alright, so this very first card that's here, super fun. I'll get my head out of the way here in a second. I just want to look at it so that way we can kind of see. This is the Page of Pentacles. Super fun. Yeah, the artwork in this deck is really friends, like from all over the world. It's super enjoyable. And sometimes it takes me a minute to just look things up because there's multiples of things. But this is the Page of Pentacles reversed. Pentacles are like a card of earthly things, like money, career, possessions and stuff like that as a suit. Pages are court cards. They're often court cards are often like people. In this version of it, I feel like that question you asked was so loaded. It feels like this page is in the past. And in reverse, what this is like is upright. You can kind of see like she looks like she's gonna do stuff in like the best possible way, right? She's like, hey, rock out. But like you have the reverse version of this, right? And like in the past, what it speaks to is like not having had clear goals about your artwork. Or like not really knowing what you want to do, and then like because of that, because you don't have a plan, so it's getting hard to follow through on it because you don't know what you want to do. So then how do you know? And it's like when you don't have forethought and you're flitting from thing to thing, you won't ever set down roots and really make something that is like your full potential, if that makes sense. And I think too, like there's a little bit of it in there about like, well, if you're not committed, then it feels like you have less to lose, so then it's less scary. And I don't know, it feels like that's a thing. It might have been a thing in the past. And like Rose has been in her way, even though I'm sure she's a great partner. Any partner takes up some of your time, right? And like maybe like you hadn't had some clear plans and goals with the artwork that you were making. Yeah, I mean, like you said, like, hey, I'm into all these things, right? Which is magic. I love that about it. But like, it's hard to kind of lock down.
Who buys a blank canvas, covers it in gesso to prepare it to be painted, then hangs it on their living room wall for 3 years?
Listen. who buys a banjo and has it sit in their living room,
Unplugged?
unplugged?
Plug me.
I think about it, I don't know if somebody like paint a hand on me, musical note,
Anything really.
self-portrait.
There's so many options.
Pause for just a second. I'm seeing you smiling like you do have these unfinished products hanging around in your house. Is there a specific one that you can think of right now that's like an unfinished thing?
An unfinished thing. Not that I can think of right now.
That's fair, but this feels like the right thought.
It does.
Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Aren't I in a little ring enough form of expression?
Dude, you're so alluring.
So alluring.
So alluring.
I'm so, like, me, I'm allured right now.
It's like, you know, clearly he likes us, because we're all here,
We're here.
and you know, thinks about hanging out with us.
Yeah, you must think about bluegrass music all the time.
Yeah, and you know, come on, when he's got his friends over or whatever, he's like plucking away for 3 minutes and then nothing for years.
I mean, is like looking at us and thinking about art like kind of its own art in its own way?
No, man, that's philosophy.
But so like it's something to think about in the past and be aware of, right? That you had these like unfinished, maybe they were ideas, maybe they were projects, but they were things that weren't done. And that you had this kind of this big along what the study we're at in the past. That did seem to make sense from what you were saying. This next card here, I'll show it to you. It's a little complicated because I'm getting it reversed. I'll show it to you guys upright too, just so you see the upright version. Upright, it's kind of like curtains parting on a stage, right? That is what it's meant to be. But we have it reversed here. This card in the deck is something called the final tarot card. Which sounds really ominous, especially thinking about like what comes next in the reading. But like reversed like this, what it's about in the present is like kind of coming to terms with the truth about how you make art, whether that's unpleasant or not. Like it can be hard to kind of look at the fact that oh, I have the drifting on. Oh, I do have to kind of buckle down. It sucks, but I have to do it, right? And kind of dealing with the fact that like you just have to look at it and deal with what you need to deal with to make the art, even if that thing is uncomfortable.
Brian, what kind of thing motivates you?
That's a loaded question. I don't know, that's tough. I think, well, one thing I look for in anything in life, I guess, is just, I always try to look on the brighter side. I like honesty, you know, but I like emotion, so when I watch films, I can't watch Marvel films because they're all gonna end the same way. Superhero's always gonna win. So I like when things get real, even if they don't end happy, because life is really real.
Okay. So would you say like being inspired by art inspires your art too?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Well, if that inspires you players, knowing what we know about like some of the things that like Brian needs to look at about getting started, about being inspired by other forms of art, like inspiring you back. That's something. Is there a piece of artwork that you can think of that inspires you right now, or has inspired you in the past?
This is a TV show. My favorite TV show is Arrested Development.
Hell yeah.
So it's on the move because every time I watch it, there's another angle. This is funny because of this and because of that, and it's that's what inspires me. Not just because for comedy, it's that you can drop something off and look at it 6 months later and the whole meaning can change.
Well, performers, maybe what we could see is we had a moment inside Brian's head a little while ago. Maybe we revisit that. A moment inside Brian's head, all those voices coming back, seeing if we can find some inspiration.
I don't know, guys. Nothing's grabbing me lately. I know I want to make something, but I feel like everything's already been made. And like, what's the point of me even doing anything if it's like I'm not gonna have time to finish it? And I just feel pulled every different direction. And I just end up like really stuck and not making anything. That's like worse, right? I don't know, like, what do I gotta do?
Just need some kind of like internal resource, something to drive me, something to like. Be my compass to draw me home. I'm the banana stand. I'm the banana stand. And what do we know about banana stands?
There's
That feels like inspiration. And as we move forward, this next part that I want to show you, I think it's useful. I think it's important. I know you can see it, but as I do, I will tell you this card is death. But this, yeah, for sure. I'll kind of move out of the way so you can see him in his glory. But this deck, Brian, has a bunch of different versions of death. Like 13, yeah. It's like 12 or 13 cards. I can't remember even. In fact, like while you all were playing, I was looking up which one because it's a lot. But this particular death is sowing death. Kind of see Death is got there with his side and he's kind of coming down the side.
Oh man, Chris, I was freaking out.
It's about like letting things end, which we've had a lot of lately, and like knowing that letting those endings. Kind of like feed the next thing that you're doing, if that makes sense. So that like that way, the things that are ending and changing can become like the seeds for your future art that you make later. It's not that the art is like a waste of time in your life or something. It's just that it had been kind of unfocused in the past. You had these big moments of change in your life and feel unfocused about your art, I think, which makes sense. But if you approach it from the standpoint of these things have died so they can kind of fertilize the ground, and the banana stand can rise again from that new fertile soil, then something good can really happen. And like knowing that like that's going to heal the ground and like to kind of like let your plans be the same sort of thing. Just letting them come back up from this like newly enriched ground now that what you knew is gone.
Hey you guys! I got something to show you. Brian came in last night ranting about bananas or something. And he started rubbing his brush all over me. Now I'm colorful. Now I look kind of like him, but a little blurry. I'm I'm a self-portrait. And after he got done rubbing every bristle all over me, he said, what do I do next? And I said, you should play banjo.
And let me tell you what he did next. Those fingers up and down my neck. I'm gonna leave the metaphor there. You can figure out the rest.
Yeah, it feels good over here these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine, we can leave That's all right, fine, we've been graphic enough. But like, it feels, oh, yeah. I swear that is a card whenever someone, yeah, there's some people that card is not for. And I always got a little worried, like, is that gonna come out for someone who's not ready for it? We're ready for it. But with this, it feels like we've gotten to know you a lot better. That, like, it's been lovely. To get to see, like, hey, you did have this big ending point in your life, and this unfocused time with your art, but like knowing that you can just like look at the hard facts of it and know that all of this ending is just feeding the thing that's gonna come up next. And not that it's a time to stop, but really rather a time to like acknowledge, hey, that's just seeding the ground for my future art later. That can be an okay place to be. Yeah. Fred, thank you so much for being brave and vulnerable in front of this audience. It's really lovely getting to know you. So, like with this, Ryan, I will say, this has been Whatever Fate Decides. We've been honored to have you in the show and honored to have all of you here. I also did say that if any of you here tonight would like a free online tarot reading, you can have one. Follow us on Instagram at Whatever Fate Decides. Message us there. We'll give you a free confidential reading right online. And otherwise, thank you so much for being here tonight. Have a great night and take care.